Welcome back to the Last Remnant video walkthrough, 100% completion and low BR run. We're continuing our side quests here. They're getting much more challenging. We've left all the really hard ones till the end. We're doing the Ancient War and Frustrations in this video. But first we're going to start with the Ancient War, which means we need to go to Baltarosa Pub and speak with an emissary of the palace. Baltarosa is looking for men of action to assist in battle. I stress that this is an opportunity strictly for the experienced. If you have confidence in your abilities, come to Baltarosa Castle and speak with the Chief of Staff. He will tell you what to do. Right, she's not kidding. It's a tough fight, and they try and warn you about it a couple times. But we're going to do these in order of difficulty, so for the next 3 videos, every battle that we do will be tougher than the one before, and they're going to get a little lengthy, so be prepared for that. 1,000 years ago, there was a great kingdom in the desert. Its military was renowned around the world. And within that force, there was the Queen's Guard, the Matryoshkalo. Their prowess in battle is still sung in legend today. They were heroes who sealed countless wild monsters, a brotherhood who protected their queen like an iron wall. Skilled warriors who would win while outnumbered 1,000 to 1. However, they were eventually destroyed by their own strength. They turned into monsters and turned upon the Imperator. The Imperator immediately struck back after a fierce battle on both sides. The Imperator took the Dao Tai and sealed the Matryoshkalo. Young traveler, this is no simple nursery tale. After 1,000 years, the Matryoshkalo have returned. They assemble against Baltarosa to take back the Dao Tai. This cannot be allowed no matter the cost. Somehow the force that was strong enough to even plague the Imperator must be defeated. Baltarosa is calling all men of action to assist in its defense. Traveler, will you go to the Salamander's belly and fight with us as well? Sure, I'll help. Vanguard, Batwings formations would be best for this battle. However, both are lost arts. This will not be an easy fight. Yeah, but I gotta try. Then go, Traveler. Okay, so he all but says right there that you need a certain formation in order to survive this fight. And he's right, especially for us, and we're doing this before level 10, so we're extremely low level to be anywhere near this quest. But we've got the Vanguard on all of our guys, so what that is going to do is it's going to allow like 1 to 3 of our 5 party members in any group, 1 to 3 of them will resist it. And we'll be able to see which groups are able to resist the Vulcan breath from the Matryoshkalo. We'll be able to see who can't, because they'll instantly die. Okay, so this starts out huge battlefield fight like we've done a couple times now. You're probably familiar with the way the minimap box works, where we're selecting different unions to see if we're even able to get near them. Those we can't get, they're too far away. So you're kind of limited here. You can't stack up on some of them because they've split you away from them. So you're only close to some groups, so we unfortunately cannot start piling up on the trash, but thankfully the trash is not that big of a deal in this fight. We have sufficient heals, and we're doing barely enough damage to kill some of these groups in the first round. And so it took me numerous attempts to get a good start with this, but a good start is when you kill 1 or 2 of the enemy unions right off the bat. So we should be done with all the trash and on the big dragon in just the first 3 or 4 rounds, I'd say. This is also the longest I've taken so far to choose what I want to do. Like once I'm engaged with the mob, it's okay. I don't have much to think about. I just try and heal and fight on that mob. But when I have to choose ones that are far away, and it really is worth it for you to take your time and kind of see which abilities are on. Oh, that reminds me. I don't think I've ever explained. Okay, well, I did explain that for each union you got 5 options. Like, well, there I've got 4, but you can have 4 or 5. Rarely will you have 3 or less, but you basically have 5 options. If you don't like the 5 options and you're fighting more than one enemy union, just choose a different union. It'll give you 5 different options. So you can get a lot of control over what your guys do by choosing, especially when you got a lot of choices out in the field. Like here we have tons of choices. You can just choose the group that gives you a really nice option, like where all your guys use their combat arts or something like that. And by doing that, we really pile up the action point abilities on the trash unions and knock them out fast. So here I think we're down to 3, maybe? I think they're only called Omicron in this fight. They're vultures. We've seen them in a couple places, but not in this particular type. I don't think there's anything special about any of the trash in this fight. We've got the main Montroskylo boss, though he doesn't show up as a boss. And one Omnicron left, so we're going to try and get to him. Not everybody's close enough to engage, but we need to get everybody over there. And the dragon will not, or the Montroskylo dragon will not engage you until you engage it. So it's just sitting there on standby, waiting for you to kill all his friends. And once we get done with this vulture, we can kick him in the nuts, get this thing started. Yeah, I was saying before I interrupted my own self, I don't think there's anything special about any of those trash mobs where you have to concentrate on one of them over one of the others. Just do the closest one to you, the ones you are able to gang up on if possible, and you should move through them pretty quick. They're not the challenge. This dragon is the real challenge. He is the biggest guy, though he's not a boss, technically. He doesn't have the question marks. He is the biggest mob we've fought so far. He's 110,000 hit points of dragon flesh. And he does an area of effect, more than occasionally. He does a Vulcan breath over all 3 of our unions, and it will regularly kill 2 of them. So we need to have all 3 of our groups with a reser in it. So if it kills 2 groups, then the last group has a chance to res them. However, I think the only thing in our favor in this entire fight is that the boss doesn't seem to do Vulcan Strike twice in a row. So if he wipes 2 of our unions, we'll have time to res before he fires another Vulcan Breath at us. He will do melee attacks also. Seeing a lot of activity from our guys. They're all using AP abilities. Their action points are getting pretty high. There's the Vulcan Breath. Okay, that just pretty much killed 2 unions. Rush has 100 hit points, so we're going to send Rush out to res. And Emmy to stay still. It's almost always a good idea to send the really weak union out to res, because there's a chance that there's a healer in the res party and they'll heal you also. See, Rush has 100 hit points and he res the other group, but a couple other guys are healing Rush and the res group, so it gets both of them up. So that's helpful, and extremely helpful later on once we get group heals on everybody. Right now, Emmy's the only one with group heal, but we're going to remedy that soon too. No pun intended. No pun intended. And you notice this is a Montroskylo, and we've killed 2 Montroskylos so far, and they all look different. This is the Dragon Montroskylo. The only thing nice about the Montroskylo is it's fun to say Montroskylo. I think the attack options I chose that I was happiest with is when one group is doing a give it all you got, and the other 2 groups are healing. But this is a rare moment where everybody's got high hit points. I said earlier it's important that all your guys be alive at the end of the fight, but in really tough fights like this one, I didn't care. We do finish this fight with everybody alive, but it's not priority. Like, the priority is to kill this damn thing, because it's a really long fight to do 5 times trying to get it to get some good rolls. Okay, we'll need somebody to heal. There we go. Or let's since he's going to heal, let's go back and put the other guy on defense and then heal. I didn't figure out until about halfway through these videos that defense isn't real beneficial. Like, it's not worth it for you to... Your guys will, if you choose to stand and defend, they won't attack. They'll just stand there and be in defense, and it will encourage whichever mob you're fighting to attack you. And you'll have a higher defense when he attacks. So you're kind of going to try and take a hit for the team by sacrificing your ability to attack or heal that turn. There's another Vulcan Breath. Pages is out. We fried all the Khazidi in our group. Deep fried them. So we'll have to get them back up. Yeah, strengthen your defenses. Oh, that'll put some buffs on your guys. You can choose to defend as another option. And I never found it especially useful. I couldn't work it in. Like, it was almost always better to heal than it is to stand around and do nothing. Heal another group that'll attack. So there you go. Nobody needs to defend. They can take a hit, and then you have the heal and the damage. So I don't know that defending is really worth it over a really nice group heal. Alright. I guess another nice thing is that because it's not a question mark boss, you can kind of see his hit points. You don't have to wait for flashing and guess, okay, does flashing mean there's only 50,000 hit points left on this guy? Or you can see the red bar, so you can see exactly how far along he is. I was hoping it'll show the red bar. There it goes. Like, shows the red bar at the bottom right. And, we're about, 2/3 done.
Do not underestimate them.
Alright, Rush gets his Omni Strike. And, like, just because he gets the Omni Strike doesn't mean that the boss won't kill him before that happens. Like, his group will attack, and the Monster Skylo may breathe the Vulcan Breath and kill him, and then he'll never get to cast it. So, it's important that when Rush gets that ability that he live long enough to use it. And he was there. He's still doing about 3,000 damage with it. Do some healing here. And Pages' group has kind of just turned into the healing group now, but that's a nice fallback. It's nice to have your combat guys up in the face, and your casters, because Mystic Arts damage is iffy. Like, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage against one mob, but it does a lot of damage against a bunch of mobs. So if you're just on one boss, then it's not the greatest thing to have, unless you need something real specialized. Like, we don't have Paris right now, but we really need Paris right now. Our morale is in the shitter at the top, you can see. But if we had Paris, we survived the last Vulcan Breath to kill the dragon, okay, good. But if we had Paris, he can cast Psionics, and that would allow us to improve our morale, and thus we'd have more Omni Strikes, we'd have more Weapon Arts. It'd be all around good for us to have our morale higher. Things open up. Alright, looks like he's got one hit point, but I'm choosing very carefully last ability. Okay, so I guess David killed him. That's fine. He can have that glory. Hey, grats, ding, BR10. Finally in the double digits. Rush upgrades his remedies.
Yeah!
He's not the only one. We've just been healing for 16 rounds straight or whatever. Emmy gets an upgraded group heal.
May the God Emperor bless you all.
There's still plenty of power left in these old bones.
Violet gets an upgraded single target heal. Remedy heal. And meh, you know, okay stuff. Okay drops. Oh, did you defeat the Monster Skylo? Oh yeah. I see. You struck without hesitation. Then I give you this. 20,000 gold. Baltarosa's crisis has passed. Still, why would the Monster Skylo betray the Imperator to begin with? Perhaps someday the truth will come to light. Until then, be well, young traveler. That wraps up the Ancient War. And now we can finally get the hell out of here and move on to the next harder quest. And Nora's going to ask for Premier Bracelet. I'm kind of iffy, but I'm just going to give it to her. I mean, if I gave one to Loki, I can't turn her down. She's not with us very long, but sure, why not? A little remembrance of us after we kick her ass out of the party. Everybody else is asking for weapon upgrade items, so we can ignore them for another 500 or 600 videos. The next quest is called Frustrations, and it is not lying. It's in Balak. It's nothing but a frustration. We need to speak to Lashal, who's going to be joining our party for the PC Ultimate grind. So we'll need to recruit him after we do this quest. Looking forward to that. We don't have many Khaziiti in our party, but they're all in the Mystic Arts Union. There he is. Lashal, a monster hunt. Are you certain? Yes, yes, yes. It has to be slain. What kind of monster? Why, hello, traveler. What monster, you ask? There's a monster called Validus in the Vale of the Gods. It's causing quite a ruckus. It's never acted this way before, but it's acting this way now. A bunch of travelers have already been found, all in bits and pieces. Hey, Mr. Traveler, you look like a nice, strong fella. Come with me to take care of Validus? If we don't, who knows what'll happen to Balak. I'm game. I knew I could count on you. Come on, let's go. If you insist on doing this, I wish you luck, but be careful out there. Alright. Automatically teleported to the Vale of the Gods, where we farmed for minerals. I don't care how this happened. All I know is that we must do something before people get hurt. Let's teach it a lesson. Okay, I've tried to teach it a lesson several times during the course of these videos. I keep coming to Frustrations, and I keep engaging it in combat, and then it immediately vaporizes the shit out of all of us. And so I say, okay, I'll have to put that one off till later. Put it off till later. And this is probably the third attempt that of me recording it. I was just recording a bunch of wipes before, so obviously didn't include that. Just started over from a save point. Alright, so we get a nice little cutscene here of our whoever's going to kill us. It's giant bird. Yeah, it's actually a spirit lord named Validus. Spirit lord is the race of creatures that these giant birds are, and they all do the same thing at the beginning. However many unions you have attacking it is whoever's going to get cursed like that. So Rush goes to attack him, he gets cursed. The other two unions go to attack him, they get cursed. The thing is guaranteed to try to curse you if you attack it in the first round. So there's a way around that if you want. Like, you could choose to, if like the curse is killing you and you need to minimize that, you would not attack in the first round. And the Spirit Lord, Validus, would only attack one of your unions and only curse one of your unions as opposed to all three. We got 3 of our 4 unions. We got a guest union for this little Shaw's here to help us. And we're glad to have his help. He takes some hard hits from the boss. An early Omni Strike from Rush. That's kind of rare to get it that early in the fight. Usually you don't have the action points or the morale, and I guess he doesn't need but a certain low morale in order to use it. But anyway, yeah, 3 of our 4 groups or unions is cursed. Normal poison and disease type debilitations, they'll eventually KO your group. But I think this particular curse just falls off, like after 3 rounds or something like that. So we're just going to try and keep them healed up. That's an interesting choice there. Kill them even if it kills them. Cure them even if it kills them. What that'll do, it's hilarious. That group will run over to the cursed group and kill them. Kill their own group. And then it will res that group back up. Like, instead of trying to cure them, I can't cure them, it's too far gone. It just kills you and reses you, which kind of makes sense in this world. But it's just funny to see him do it. You'll go over and gank your own dudes. But I don't think we do that here. Here we're just trying to survive this curse. What makes this fight harder than before is not the hit points. It's only got 90,000 hit points. That sounds weird to say, only 90,000 hit points, but it's 20,000 less than the last boss, and the last boss had a bunch of guys helping him out too. But this one is just 90,000 hit points, but he debilitates, and he does his AE breath a lot more. It will be the, well, I mean, he'll do it many, many times in a row. He'll just jump up and spray the ground. I think our guys are cured now. There's a spray, his acid burn, whatever. Didn't do too bad. We made it through there. Looks like Emmy's group has 2,600 hit points. That's pretty nice. I bet you everybody in that group has a premier bracelet helping them out there. That's probably our highest hit point group, for sure. Lashal certainly doesn't have that many, and he survives a lot of this fight, and he takes a lot of hits from the boss. It's nice if you get lucky with your guest union. And you can see some corpses on the ground. People are knocked out, debilitated from the curse. But we're definitely using our item herbs. Between the last fight and this fight, you may want to go to a shop and make sure you have plenty of item herbs for healing and rezzing, especially for rezzing. Oh, the strike from the sides, that yellow texted item, I don't know if I have described it already, but most everything in there has white text, but the items that have yellow text, like is strike from the side or strike from behind or something like that, those are abilities that will receive no repercussions from the enemy. Like, you'll essentially flank them no matter when you attack. Like, could be the first unit attacking him, you'll still flank him in a way because he won't be able to fight back. And so choosing yellow text and having that yellow text show up is triggered by having a certain type of guy, a certain class of person in your party. So we've got some class in our party who allows strike from the sides. And so whichever union we put them in will have that option in the battle. Okay, enough about that. There's a bunch of classes. Like all our guys we got 15 guys, and they're pretty much 15 different classes. The classes sometimes depend on race and which characters they are, and what levels of item arts they have, as opposed to what level of combat arts, as opposed to what level of mystic arts. All those things go into determining what your current class is, and you can kind of manipulate it. And certain classes have bonuses. You can ignore it altogether. It's another layer of complexity in this game that you can ignore. But if you pay attention to it and you kind of groom your guys into the class you want them to be for the bonuses they'll get, then it pays huge dividends later on. We're not going to touch on that right now. We will get to that later. Again, like, he has just done like 3 of these acid blasts right back to back, but he's blinking in red. So I think this is a little spoiler alert here. We're going to win this fight. Actually, don't show us losing any fight. But we'll definitely want to be healing here, getting toward the end, and we don't want to lose it to 1A blast, killing everybody. It may just be, in order to do this quest, you need to have 2,000 hit points on all your groups, or 2,500 hit points on all your groups, just to survive the AE. And once you have that amount, it doesn't matter how much over you have. As long as you keep healing, you have enough to survive the blasts. So I think the fight may have gone from extremely difficult before, when I tried to do it, like instantly dying in the first or second round, to it being pretty easy to survive once you qualify for it. Like, it's just a hit point check fight, I guess. Anyway, he's still blinking, but he's got 90,000 hit points, so that could mean he still has 20,000 hit points left.
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh yeah, there's an effect. Your guys will turn like black and white, like an old photograph, if they're cursed a certain way. So we're still BR10. Yay. And we should get some more skill ups here. Hopefully some healing skill ups. We're going to need them for the next fight. Yes, David upgraded his res herb, and Boston upgraded his healing herb. Herb.
So this is who I am. So I'm capable.
Yeah,
of
you're
learning
capable of learning Mystic Arts. You're in the Mystic Arts unions. I won't be bothering anyone now. I'm seriously beat. Now that Balak is safe, we can take our sweet time getting back to town. And you can search around here if you want, but you just click on it again to be ported back. That's what we're going to do. We don't need to sightsee. Alrighty, time to go home. Not sure why they offer that in this quest only. Hey, LaShaw, where have you been? Some Academy guys came out of nowhere and the Brimislabis was stolen. Balak is done for. Everything's fine. A collapse was coming. Balak has been saved from disaster. You're welcome. It is true that the Brimislabis hasn't been bound to anyone since its last keeper passed away. What? That's the reason? I've been telling you all this time. Make me the ruler so I can bind the Brimislabis to myself. No way. You would just use it to expand your domain. I should be the one to... A clown like yourself can't bring prosperity to Balak. That's why. That's why I asked the Academy to take the Brimislabis away. Because you're all tards. Neither of you are fit to be the Lord. And with the collapse, the Remnant brings ill fortune to Balak. Ridding the town of it was the best move. We don't need a Remnant or a Lord for this town to flourish. What did you do? I think LaShaw has a point. No Remnant, no Lord? How can you be certain we'll be fine? I know we will. We just all have to work together. Rush, I'm sorry I wasn't honest with you about what I was planning. Please take this as an apology and a reward for saving Balak from danger. Forgiven! Perhaps you're right. If we all work together, you must show people how it's done, LaShaw. You must set an example. Of course, I'll do anything for this town. Rush, if you ever need me, go to the guild. Frustrations are over, people. Our frustrations are over. And LaShaw is one of two Khaziiti little guys we're going to recruit to our Mystic Arts unit for our PC Ultimate grind. They both have hexes. LaShaw and Maddox. LaShaw, I think he's 14 grand like Cademan was. Yeah, same price as Cademan. He's not one of our final 18, but he does get hexes, and we get it up pretty hefty. We pretty much max out LaShaw and Maddox's hexes in one fight, or 20. But that's for later. Like, we're all done now. We're not going to put LaShaw in the group until we get Maddox. But congratulations for surviving these fights if you did. Oh, good. Paulson finally asked for the Triumph Belt. Yay. And everybody else just wants weapon arts. We're done with this. We'll see you in the next video.